Hey, 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 good morning. This is morning for me. It's about 10:30, and today we're going to talk about something just epic. Today I'm going to give you one thing that if you do this one thing, it's going to help you surge your energy, like 10x your energy, eliminate the need for coffee, restore your glow in your skin, help you feel confident about yourself, increase your vitamin C, increase your nutrients. Listen, this is like a old but new, because here's the thing about all the new fads that we're experiencing these days. They come and go, and a lot of them do not have lasting results. But if you're tired of feeling exhausted all day, fatigued, maybe you have adrenal fatigue, that's just something to do with your hormones, or maybe you have like this emotional and mental fatigue. You're just tired. You wake up tired, you live tired, you go to sleep tired, and it's affecting everything in your life. You're seeing that your belly is just expanding, and you can't seem to get a hold of your weight. It's not your fault. Like there are pieces that are missing from the puzzle. And as a holistic practitioner, I'm a nurse who has combined herself with the holistic way, because that's the only way to bring overall true and lasting change, wellness, for your wellness and for your health journey. So it is very important to look at your whole body. And today we're going to look at that using one thing, just one thing. So let me give you a little bit of a background here. We are going to reduce your cortisol levels. And if you're not familiar with what cortisol is, it's a hormone. Hormones, this word, I'm going to use it a lot today, but I want to give you a tangible example of what hormones are, because these days you hear a ton about hormones, and it's just sprayed all over the internet. Here's the thing about what you're hearing about hormones these days. People are talking fads. People are using the word hormones as your feelings. People are using the word hormones in so many ways, but hormones are your body chemistry. Hormones are this beautiful way in which your body communicates with each other. So if you find yourself feeling like your body is out of control, a really good place to start would be hormones, especially for us women. You know, I was reading some statistics the other day, and I'm going to share them in the link below after the live stream. I see some people are here. Hey, hey. Thank you. Welcome coming on live. I see Kim. I see Carla. So good to have you guys here. Drop your questions as I go so that I don't stay too far ahead, because sometimes I can just go and go too deep. So hormones, what they really are your body chemistry. And the way hormones work, you guys, hormones want you to win. Hormones help you sleep. Hormones help you wake up. Hormones help your energy. Hormones help your metabolism. Hormones help your skin. Hormones help your libido changes. You know, as we age, sometimes women, we're just like, we're not in the mood. And you may be married and your partner is like, hey, let's have some adult time. And you're just like, tired, headache, any excuse. Okay, been there, done that. So hormones are responsible for so much of our lives. And if you think about the relay races, I don't know if you guys did sports back in the day when maybe sticks were not considered dangerous. It's been crazy how everything is dangerous these days. But back in the day when we used to run around with sticks, I was involved in relay races. So I had the stick and I'd run and hand it off to someone, then they'd run and hand it off to someone. And that's the best example I can think of to give you a visual of what your hormones do. Your hormones pass messages to each other and to the rest of your body so you can win, so your day can be full of energy, so your skin can glow. So if you're finding yourself looking older than you should, listen, this happened to me a few years ago. And my kids were like, Mommy, how old are you? Little kids, innocent kids. And I'm like, I'm 35 or 34 or whatever. They'd be like, oh, are you older than daddy? Listen, oh my goodness. I remember this one time my kids asked me if I was older or my mom was older. I was like, okay, so my mom looks ridiculously young for her age, but I was starting to catch up with her. And it's so hard on your self-esteem, on your confidence, for your skin to just be falling apart. So it's one of those things where hormones play against you sometimes when it comes to your skin, to your weight, to your hair loss, to your fatigue. So I want to just paint that picture for you so you know that whatever it is you're struggling with, and sometimes it's inflammation and arthritis, sometimes it's heart disease. Oh, okay, maybe that's going too deep. But listen, oh, I see someone's like, people think my sister's older. Girl, I feel you. I feel you. And that used to happen to me. I have two older sisters, and everywhere we'd go, people would be like, oh, would introduce ourselves. My sister would introduce me. It's like, oh, who's older? And I'm like, the fact that you have to ask is a problem. So I had to fight against that. And I had to start taking my body back and my energy back and my hair back, because those bald patches, I could not style them. It's one thing to have the thinning, but like when you just literally have patches of like shiny, oh, it just hurts as a woman. We can't go through this. Here's the worst part. You go to find help at your physician, whoever it is that you see, your healthcare provider, and then they tell you nothing is wrong because they ran a test and an MRI and a scan, but nobody checks your hormones. Why is it? The research that I was going to share about earlier. Why is it we live in a country that is so wealthy, at least on the surface, and yet it has the lowest rates, the lowest rates of good people saying good about the healthcare system. People are dissatisfied. Women die at higher rates than any other country that is doing well financially. And at least, like we say, on the surface, because we know there's stuff going on under the surface. But literally, the highest rates of women who die, the highest rates of women who are told nothing is wrong, but there's something severely wrong. So women's health is this thing that, I dove into it as a nurse and as a women's health coach, because there's a gap, and it's a painful gap. If you're the one who's been to doctor, spending thousands like I did in my 20s, trying to have someone not tell me that I'm making this up and that I'm in my head and that there's nothing wrong just because of the test they did. So today we're going to talk about one thing that will drastically change everything for you. Not 5 things, not 7 things. Yes, there is more than this one thing. But I like to give people something to win with. Something that if you could only see some kind of progress, a lot of progress, and encourage yourself in the journey, this is the one thing. Are you ready? Okay. Ooh, I don't know, but I'm going to give you a hint right now. I'm going to give you a hint right here. Cheers. It's juicing. It's juicing. Here's the thing about juicing. Juicing has a bad rep these days for so many reasons. Juicing has been said it can spike your blood sugars, and you can detox too fast. Now there's some truth to that, and I'm going to give you pro tips at the end of how you can juice. You can juice safely, you can juice well, but I'm going to tell you all that the juice is going to do to help you reverse those symptoms we were just talking about. So number one, juicing is going to help you put a pause on your gut, on your digestive system. See, I grabbed this pen because I'm used to having my board to write stuff on. But juicing is going to help you press pause on your gut. And here's the thing, when you press pause on your gut, you let it rest. Have you noticed that with all these symptoms I was talking about, you have increased bloating, you have gas, you have belching going on? Sometimes you eat stuff and you're like, my digestion's just not working. I feel like food is just sitting there, right? If you've ever had a baby, you know that first trimester feeling where your digestive system just does not work. You can start to feel that later in life, in your 30s, coming up to your 40s and beyond, with the perimenopause and as you approach menopause, just with the hormonal changes. And here's the thing, when you juice, you give your body time to rest. Here's the amazing thing about your gut and your digestive system. It resets itself, science has shown, in as little as 3 days. Does that sound familiar? Because you hear a lot of these like juice fasts, or some people do water and they say do it for 72 hours. There's science behind that. There's research behind that to show that in as little as 3 days, you can cause drastic changes to your inner lining. Now, do I recommend that people do long-term juice fasts? Not really, except in crisis. So what do I mean by crisis? Cancer, for example. Some cancer patients have found so much help and so much vitality, energy, and regression of their tumors by just having juice fasts. But as a woman, especially if you're having hormone issues, proteins and fats are so important for us. So doing a long, super long 30, 60 days juice fast, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, could it work for you for whatever reason? Sure, maybe. Our bodies are very different. That's one thing we need to take into account with holistic health. So one thing we said is that it's going to reset your gut. It's going to reset your digestive system. I'm going to tell you again towards the end, when I'm giving you the pro tips, how you can make sure to get some protein and some fats while you are juicing. Okay. Listen, if I forget, remind me. I'm making a note right here. Okay. Second, what juicing is going to do for you. So let me give you an example of this juice. It's not looking too pretty, but look at it. This juice here has kale from my garden. It has carrots. It has ginger. I don't know if it's got turmeric. I didn't make it. I just received it this morning. Joel made it. So let's see. I usually put vitamin C in through lemons, usually in my juices. And here's how all those things play a role in our hormones. The kale, cruciferous vegetables, so your kales, your collards, your broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, those things are so good at fighting androgens. Androgens are male hormones, and they help reduce androgens. But guess what? It doesn't end there. They are also full of indole-3 carbinols. See, again, I wish I had my board and I was writing, maybe next time. Indole-3 carbinols are these, if you imagine a car, right? Or trash, what's it called? Dumpster truck, right? The trash pickup truck. If you imagine the trash pickup truck, that's what indole-3 carbinols are like. What they do is they come through your body and help all the excess androgens, even super excess estrogen, if you're estrogen dominant. They just pile up in there and then work through your system, work through your liver, and are dumped out. So when you consume these leafy dark greens and your cruciferous vegetables. That's a huge perk. Now, when you juice them, you're just doing the shortcut version because now you're going to get the super like concentrated version of it, and it's amazing for you. Another thing it does is heal your skin. A lot of people are like, my skin issues. I had that. My skin used to feel and look like sandpaper. I mean, just like bumps everywhere, and they would just have these horrible scars. And it was so bad. It was so bad. No makeup can cover that sometimes. So your dark leafy greens have a lot of vitamin E, and they have a lot of fiber. People think that you don't get fiber when you juice, and I'm glad that this glass is looking this way because you can see some of that stuff in here. Let me take it up on my hand so maybe you can see it a little better. You see that stuff right here? This is fiber. It's fiber. You cannot melt it. So you do get some fiber as you juice, and here's why fiber is amazing for you. If you're struggling with your midsection weight like I was, or overall weight, fiber is your best friend. I've seen supplement companies selling fiber capsules. Why? Because they're selling it as a GLP-1 solution, as a weight loss supplement. And I'm like, that's daylight robbery. What? Greens, vegetables, carrots, fruit, anything that comes from a plant is high in fiber. Lentils, legumes, even your unprocessed grains are so high in fiber, and your gut bacteria eat that up and they produce GLP-1. So please, 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 you want GLP-1? I want GLP-1. I'm like, yes, eat fiber. This is one way you can get some fiber. Of course, if you want more fiber, eat the actual leaf. All right. Again, this is a short-term solution. So the next thing we're going to talk about, and this one's going to be exciting, a way in which juicing is going to help you with your hormones. Juicing gives you a detox. And a detox is like a pressing that reset button, you know? Sometimes when your counter plugs, especially when you're blow drying your hair or somewhere in the bathroom, and it just stops working, and that socket, you know, that little button, the red one, pops out, and you just have to reset it to get it to start working again. That's what juicing does for your body. It gives you a detox. When you clean your body out, especially your liver, your kidneys, give them a time to rest, clean out your gut, clean out your mind. It's crazy because people don't associate juicing with cleaning out your mind. But there are a lot of things you can add to your juices that actually help clean out heavy metals out of your body. A big one that does that is, oh my goodness, I just had a brain space. Wait a minute, it's my favorite herb. Like I was building up to it, and then like I had a brain spacing, like a clear spot. Oh my goodness. It's my favorite herb. Tell me, what herbs do you guys know? It's not parsley, it's the other one. It's used a lot in Mexican foods. Can you guys tell me? Oh my goodness. What is cilantro? Cilantro, of course, cilantro. Cilantro is huge when it comes to detoxing heavy metals. It's been shown that it can help do that. And what that does is it clears up your mind. Because a lot of things that we take in sometimes can contain things like aluminum. For example, baking powders, some of them have aluminum in them, and it's a neurotoxin. So it helps with that, you know, brain spacing, like I just did, and brain fog. And you don't want that happening to you. So if you learn to put things in your juice that will detox your mind, detox your body, you'll be giving yourself a clean slate to start over, and you can build a beautiful system after giving yourself a restart. Another way that people use juicing is to get better sleep. Why? Because things like kales and cabbage and carrots are so high in nutrients, including magnesium. And magnesium is incredibly great at helping you sleep better. It's also a very important nutrient when it comes to actually building your hormones. So you see things like vitamin D3, magnesium, zinc, fats, proteins. Those are your basic building blocks for your hormones. If you're lacking any one of those things, your body cannot make your hormones well. So certainly take your juices and you will be able to make great hormones, including your sleep hormones. I know sometimes people see someone says tastes like grass. That is so true. Listen, actually, here's what I had to do this morning. I love this. I love this interactive thing better than like just talking to a camera and no one's there. This morning, the first batch that we made had too much green. So I'm going to tell you how to make it delicious, because that one it was too green and it tasted like wheatgrass. Have you had those wheatgrass shots? I had them once and I had so much nausea and I emptied out all my belly. Oh my goodness, it was so bad that now, even till this day, I'm sensitive to the smell because it makes me feel like I'm going to have another episode. So I was also pregnant in my first trimester, so that was not wise. But there's a way that you can make it not taste bad. Matter of fact, let me tell you right now. Here's what you do. You add ginger. Ginger cuts the smell and the taste of that like grassy, especially with the heavy leaves. And these are from my garden. So they're full and rich and like organic, like nothing. I don't put anything harmful in them. So they're very, very, very full of chlorophyll. Another thing you can do is add lemon and add the skin of the lemon, juice the whole thing. That lemon's flavor and the lemon zest, it'll cut through that really green taste and add amazing flavor to your juice. By the way, and I have to say this one carefully because health online. I really like hanging out better on Zoom when I am doing master classes. Speaking of master classes, get your seat. Thursday, we're going in and I'm going to walk you through the whole day and show you the trip ups from morning till night that are just built into the system. And what that's going to do is it's going to kind of be like your GPS rerouting you. Instead of you going through all the traffic and getting stuck and getting upset and not getting where you want to get to on time or ever because the occasion will be over, this will give you a reroute through your GPS. And I'm going to walk you through exactly the things that are tripping up your hormones, causing you all these nasty symptoms like chin hair and thinning hair. And wait, that is not your fault and is not stuck to your genetics. Okay. So yeah, wheatgrass. Oh, wow. Magnesium is amazing. Yes, it makes you sleepy. So you definitely want to mix things in there that'll help cut it. I was just going to talk about the lemon peels, and I'm going to say this carefully. Lemon peels have been said to be a powerful agent against cancer. And that is not my lane. I listen to and I learned from a lot of people who deal primarily with cancer. My lane is hormones because that's what affected me and I don't want it to affect my daughters. But those who deal with cancer have said that lemon peels are so potent at reducing tumors and fighting cancers that they use that as part of their natural regimen. So why not throw the whole lemon in there with the peels and just get that extra boost, right? I love that for that. But the taste also helps. All right. So here's one thing that juicing helps with that no one can deny and everyone wants the benefits. And it is weight loss. Of course, we talked about the GLP-1 and the fiber and how that helps. But I know people who've just gone on a juice cleanse and detox to help lose weight. Now, that may not be a good long-term strategy, but it is definitely something to help you get that hope. If that's your struggle, when I was struggling with losing weight, not only did I think everything in life that went wrong was because of my weight and how I felt about it, unattractive and like undesirable and ashamed, like I did this to myself somehow. And those are really hard feelings to have to go to sleep at night with every day, especially if your relationships have issues and they're failing and you're just like, oh my goodness, it's me, you know? And the truth is it's not. If that's you struggling with those feelings, here's the thing, girl. It is not you. It is not you. You're not feeling well. Your body has turned against you through your hormones. And whoever it is that has your heart, whether it's your family or someone that you vowed yourself to, if they're not supportive of you during this time, it's not you. You're not the problem in that equation. You're sick and you need help. You need healing. You need wellness. Okay. I know what it feels like to feel like the problem, but this is just one more voice in your favor. Not that it's going to fix it in your mind, but hopefully it'll give you that boost. Like, it's not you. Okay. It's not you. So what I'm saying about juicing is it helped me get a jump start that gave me hope because I was lacking the motivation. I was lacking the motivation. This was years ago, but I lacked the motivation to even start to do the things that I knew would help me. And this is where I'm going to segue into the next thing that juicing helps with. Juicing is very nutrient dense. You get all the nutrients just like squeezed out into one place, and they're so concentrated. And my phone is going off. They're so concentrated, and you get like a surge of nutrition in your body. Here's what it does. It helps you curb the cravings. Curb the cravings. Say that 5 times fast. Curb the cravings. That's what it does. You know those cravings that just attack you and you're just like, I can't even say no. I don't even have the power to say no. Grab that bar of chocolate or have that ice cream or have that bag of chips or whatever it is. Did you know that your body is so intelligent? It knows where to find nutrition. And it has been found that women who crave chocolate a lot of times are deficient in things like magnesium, selenium, things that are available in small quantities in chocolate. But your body is so smart when it's really desperate for some magnesium, like PMS, or at night when you're supposed to be winding down to sleep and these cravings attack you and you just want chocolate ice cream or a bar or a Snickers bar or, something. Your body is looking for magnesium because melatonin, your hormone, your sleep hormone, needs to be produced and your body needs more of that. But it's like, I'm lacking magnesium. And then it remembers, oh man, where did I get magnesium last time? Oh yeah, it was when she ate chocolate. All right, cue the chocolate. So you find that PMS right before your periods. Tons of magnesium needed. Chocolate cravings. Tons of magnesium needed for sleep or for relaxation or for mood when you have high stress and your body wants to produce more progesterone, a hormone that helps you reduce your stress, and it's your happy hormone. You have these cravings you cannot seem to control. Juicing helps you get a surge of nutrition in your body to help curb those cravings. So give juicing a try. Another thing people say, hey, listen, if I juice, I'm afraid that I'm going to throw my blood sugars off. Well, not only have I had someone within my care, in my wellness practice, juicing in my presence, of course, as a diabetic, even with insulin issues, because there are things you can juice to help balance those out. But I've also heard of people who've done it on their own to beat diabetes, which is an insulin issue. Here's the thing. If you have diabetes, pre-diabetes, or insulin resistance, and I'm not talking about type 1 in this one, I'm talking about type 2, 3, and even 4. Now, 3 and 4 are PCOS and Alzheimer's. They're finding out that all those things are tied to insulin and insulin resistance, which is not easily caught as much as diabetes is. So insulin resistance is usually not detected and people have it and don't know, but they see the symptoms, which is why you need to pay more attention to your symptoms, because that's how your body is speaking, than even tests. Because some tests don't show you anything, but your body is like, hey, I've got a problem. So you have chin hair, or you have cysts growing on your ovaries, or you're having balding, especially male pattern, thinning on the edges, in the middle. All those things are a sign that your androgens are high. Androgens can be put high by the simple thing called insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is basically one of two things: too much processed food, too much sugar. So once people cut out processed food and sugar, your hormones start to balance down and you find that your insulin gets back in balance. That's just a segue for someone who's like, hey, I've got that going on. But when it comes to juicing, you can juice things that can help you with your insulin resistance. There are people for which we have juiced green beans. Yep, you heard me, green beans, especially when someone has diabetes, because green beans actually have a natural ability to help lower blood sugar. So for type 2 diabetes, someone who's like, oh man, I want to juice, but I don't know how to balance my blood sugars while I'm juicing and getting a lot of concentrated sugars out of even the greens or the carrots or your green apple or your ginger, whatever it is you're juicing. There are herbs that you can throw in there, and there's things like green beans where you take a shot of that green bean juice and that helps level out your blood sugars. Ain't that so good? Ain't God good? I love the question about watermelon. So watermelon is one of those things I was going to tell you as a pro tip for juicing. One of the things that people do instead of juicing just straight, if someone, okay, here's the thing. There are different levels of wellness. If it is your absolute first time doing a detox, there are two detoxes I don't recommend as first timers alone. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by alone. And that is water fasting and straight juicing. Here's why. Your body might be so toxic that you will have a violent toxic reaction. What could that be? It could be you just feel so sick, like so sick that you maybe have to go to the ER. They'll check you and they'll be like, we don't see anything, but you will just be so sick. You'll be vomiting, you will have diarrhea, headaches, like boiling headaches. And you may also have skin eruptions. It can just be very messy, or even flu-like symptoms based on detoxification that's happening in your body. So one of the things I say to people is, hey, if this is your first time, yes, you can juice, but you can add something to it, and that is a raw. You can add raw elements to your juicing, as well as adding fat and protein. The fat and protein, you will not be eating literal like fatty foods like avocados or protein, but you can make almond milk or walnut milk or add some flax powder to your juicing. What that does, it gives you a little bit of protein, just traces, it's okay, and fats. And the protein helps your detox system to be able to handle the amount of detoxification. Why? Because your body is always producing cells to help with whatever it's going through. So when you're having your detox reaction, you've got this dump, right, of this trash, of the toxins that have been building up in your body. But now, if you take a protein, your body is able to create the necessary metabolites, the necessary pieces that will help clean out, especially your liver, as you detoxify. So if you're a first timer, those are some of the hacks that you can use, or add a raw element like raw salads. Careful with the salad dressings now. Those are sources of so much chaos in your body. Again, if you want to find out what the sources are, some common sources that you're running into every day, causing you to be so fatigued, causing your hair to thin, causing your belly to just keep expanding beyond your imagination, and you just keep going up in sizes. And every time you have to buy the next size up, it works on your mind. It's so painful. It's like a gut-wrenching experience. I've cried on my closet floor, like, no, are you kidding me? This doesn't fit anymore. What? Anyway, so if that's what you want to find out, what are those things causing those chin hairs? What's causing you to have that brain fog consistently? What's causing your skin to look so terrible and miserable? Why are you wrinkling and aging so fast? That's one of the side effects of these weight loss drugs, by the way, aging fast. And that's because it's messing with your hormone pathways. So if you're wondering, what can I do to avoid these symptoms? Then definitely there's going to be a link below for the masterclass. Join the masterclass because we can speak freely. And I'm going to walk you through your day to show you exactly where your trip up points are, like getting a cheat sheet for a minefield. You're like, I'm not stepping on that today. Nope. And it's not going to be one of those things where you're like, oh my goodness, I feel like I can't do this and can't do this and can't do this. And no. It's going to be rerouting you to show you how much abundance is there, what else you can do, and how you can thrive and live beautifully while avoiding the trip ups for our hormones. Ooh, I see that, cilantro. I love the omegas. Yes, keep them heavy in your diet for joint health. Yes, omegas are amazing, and the omegas can really help you. I should probably just do a video entirely on omegas because the sources of them are so many. When people think of omega-3 fatty acids or sixes or nines, people think of fish oil. That's one source. But there's so many sources of omegas, some that you've never thought about and are so easy to incorporate in your daily routine. Because I'm all about sustainable wellness. Sustainable wellness. Olive and avocado oils, I love that. I see that you're trying olive and avocado oils. Excellent. Here's a pro tip for olive oil. Add it in after you've cooked your food. So I know some people like to use it for sauteing, like they'll use the olive oil right at the beginning with your onions and your garlic or whatever it is you're making. Here's the issue. Olive oil is very fragile and it has a very low breaking point. So a low heating point where it falls apart and you don't get the benefits of it anymore. You want to add it at the end. So for your frying, use something with a high point like coconut oil, like avocado oil. And then at the end, put a drizzle of olive oil. You'll get that rich Italian taste, and you'll also get the benefits of your olive oil because it's not broken down. It's the whole thing that helps your body. So that's really great. Let me see if there's any questions as I go. Do you add turmeric or ginger? Yes, both, whatever I have on hand. Let me see what other questions, because I want to answer all these questions here. Oh, you use coconut oil. Coconut oil is amazing. It's amazing for so many things, including helping you regrow your hair. If that thinning hair has happened already, and I know we're talking about juicing today and all its benefits, even for your hair health. But if that's already happened and you're like, how do I get my hair back? There's certain things you can do. That's a whole nother video. And in our program, we actually have a whole segment of how to get your thick, luscious hair back. Because what woman does not want her crown? I mean, just lush and as just like it's supposed to be for you as an individual. So coconut oil is really good for regrowing hair, combined with castor oil, combined with rice water, and those constant massages. Of course, you can use rosemary essential oil. Essential oils is its own video. I'm going to sit here one day with a bunch of essential oils that I use for my hormones. But if you guys have any questions about juicing, please drop them in the chat. As I finish up here, I will let you know everything you need to know about juicing. I'm going to be giving you the pro tips. Pro tip number one, I've already mentioned, add something raw if you have trouble just plain juicing. You can add raw vegetables, you can add fruits. Here's the thing. There is such a thing as a watermelon fast. Maybe you don't feel like you're ready for a juice fast. One of the biggest helps that I heard from someone else, this was years ago when I was learning about holistic health, trying to bridge that gap between I feel miserable and everybody tells me I'm okay, and I'm a nurse, and I see the system and I see that there are gaps, but this is the part where we have to take responsibility for our health and not keep giving it to someone who may be too busy and have other things they need to do. So this is what I did, you know. I see, oh, I'm 53 and my body is crying out for help. Dawn, you are in the right place. 53, you are young and you can be vibrant and feel energetic and confident and sexy and in control and powerful. That's how we have to feel because that's how we were created. Not to be prideful, but to feel secure and confident in our own bodies. So today we're talking about juicing and how that has helped us, how that has helped so many generations. But I'm so glad it's having a huge comeback these days, and it's helping us reset our bodies. And a watermelon fast is an easy place to start. Say you've never juiced, you've never even done a fast. You could start with a watermelon fast. If, there's an if over here, big if you don't already have diabetes. If you have diabetes, a watermelon fast is just going to spike up your blood sugars and you're not going to feel great. In that case, I suggest doing a cucumber fast. Why these two items? Because they have the highest amounts of water in delicious plant foods anyway, delicious natural foods. Because I mean, the aloe vera has a lot of water content and is amazing for you, for your health, for your hair, for your skin, for your gut, everything. But it's not delicious. So I believe that nutrition should be delicious. So you can do an avocado, not an avocado, oh my, a cucumber fast. No, I'm thinking salads, avocado, cucumber, tomato. Ooh, but you can do an cucumber fast. You can do a watermelon fast. If you're super new and you're like, that seems too much, you can do a raw. Some days, for no reason at all, I'll do raw. And what that is, you're going to get all your nutrients. You can eat salads and make your own raw dressing. I saw some people talking about raw dressing with tahini. Let me see, where was that? Tahini, you can put lemons in there. You can put garlic in there. Ooh, that garlic is going to do amazing things for you. And so you can have just a raw, and you can have your apples with nuts and seeds. It's the best way to have apples. You crush your pecans in there. You put some hemp seeds in there, almonds, just raw. And then you can make a little dressing out of Ooh, which one has been good? I like the savory and the sweet dressings. Sometimes I'll make them savory with like lemon juice and a little bit of salt and cayenne pepper. Sometimes I'll make it sweet with maple syrup and lemon juice and everything. Why not? It alkalinizes our body. So, absolutely, you can start with raw. But as soon as you feel capable, able, try straight juicing. Juicing, even if for a day, one day of juicing will do amazing things for you. If you can push it to 72 hours, making sure to add that protein and fat element by having an almond milk homemade, you can just blend up your almonds and you don't even have to squeeze them out. If you just leave them to sit on the counter or fridge, they'll settle and the milk will come out on top. In case you don't have a cheesecloth to squeeze it, why do I stress homemade? Because store-bought almond milks hardly have any almonds in them. They've got colorants and guar gums to thicken them and flavorings and blah, 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 but hardly any almonds. So you don't get the good protein and you don't get that good fat for you. Did you know that nuts and seeds are also really good at dropping your androgens, which are thinning your hair, making you feel miserable, making you feel out of control and angry, like how we imagine men to be sometimes? It's like, oh man, I heard this really heartbreaking thing that a woman said. She was like, man, I feel like I'm turning into a man. And I was like, oh, that's so hard. And it can be something that you feel like is out of your control. And imagine mentally, how that feels. It can cause depression, anxiety. A lot of women with hormone imbalances have those issues with depression and anxiety. Let me make sure I've covered all the list here because I want to make sure to give you everything. Oh my. Juicing helps your body absorb over 90% of the nutrients that you're getting from whatever it is. So here, this is a simple one. Carrots, maybe an apple or two, kale straight from the garden. I have beets, but I didn't feel like it this morning picking them out. And then some ginger. I think that might be it, just from the taste. This juice is so tasty, my kids drink it. Now, it takes some learning curve to get your kids to drink it. One of the biggest hacks to get your kids to drink juices or your grandkids or whoever is get them involved in making it. If they make it, they have to think it's good. Somehow, kids are just like that. If they make something, they're like, it's good. Oh, in fact, they think it's the best thing ever because they made it. So go with that bias. If you get them involved in making things, then they're going to think it's good and they're going to drink it happily and readily. Absolutely. Oh my. So yeah, if you're having gut issues, you definitely could benefit from juicing. Absolutely. Don't forget while you're juicing to still drink water. This is a question I've been asked for the last 9 years doing this. It is, oh my, if I'm juicing, is that enough? Do I need water? Absolutely. You need tons and tons of water. Number one, because this is concentrated. This is a concentrate of nutrition. So you're going to need water to still help balance your body's fluid levels and hydration levels. It's like drinking straight electrolytes. So you need your water. Number two, because you're going to be detoxing. Your body's going to take a break and your liver is going to get to release stuff. Definitely drink tons and tons of water to help your body flush that out. Pro tip. If you decide to juice for a few days, every morning, first thing in the morning, drink some water with charcoal, activated charcoal powder in there. And what that's going to do it's going to adsorb, not absorb, but adsorb. And what that means is activated charcoal has these little particles of charcoal, and they pull toxins to themselves, which is why people use it in the ER if someone comes in with basically any kind of overdose, but they don't know what it is. Or even if someone comes in with a heavy overdose and they know what it is, like alcohol, they'll push activated charcoal liquid, the powder mixed in water, into the person's belly. Even if they, are not fully conscious, they'll push that in there to flush out whatever. So whether the person vomits or it comes out through their stools, it doesn't matter. The activated charcoal attaches itself to the toxins. So that's a way to not have violent toxic reactions when you are juicing. Ladies, let me know if you have any questions. I'm watching out for your questions about juicing. I will give you all the 9 years, the years before that, of my struggle and my suffering, not knowing some of these things. And then the last 9 years doing this for women, all the way from Colorado when I started to now I live in Kentucky, and I love Kentucky. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. I don't know any better state. I really don't. I've been to so many states and I love Kentucky. It is just peaceful, beautiful. Nobody bothers you. Some people are like, it's all fields. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. I want it to stay that way. Oh, prebiotics. Prebiotics. I just saw in my notes here that I had written prebiotics as a point for juicing. You've heard about probiotics, something that your gut needs to maintain a healthy gut bacteria count. Prebiotics are things that you can get that help your gut bacteria increase. So you're not actually taking the actual microbiome, i.e. the bacteria. But what you're doing is you are taking something that the bacteria can use to have more and more and more and more babies. So if you feed them right, they will just, like, they're worse than rabbits. They will just proliferate in your gut, and you will have a healthy probiota. Now, here's the thing, guys. We're killing our gut bacteria. I was on the call having a it was like a pre work together session with a young lady, and she was struggling from a lot of gut issues. Here's one of the things that was prevalent in her life: using a lot of those hand sanitizers and sanitizing everything. Our body has bacteria everywhere, and a lot of that is good bacteria. Good bacteria fights bad bacteria. Hand sanitizers, especially alcohol-based, kill everything. They kill the bad, yes, but they also kill the good. So then we're not getting a healthy amount. Like when I take my apple, I'm not getting that healthy amount of good bacteria in as I eat it with my hands, and it's all over. It's on our skin. It's in your mouth when you wake up in the morning. That stanky stink breath, and your kids come to you and in your face and like, "Hi, mommy." Hi. Oh my goodness, parenting is the best. It's in there. So you just swish your mouth and swallow it. Yep, and you'll have good, healthy bacteria. We're overly cleaning, and so we're not getting good bacteria anymore. So that's one thing that you will get as a result of juicing. All right, ladies, if you have no more questions, listen, join the masterclass on Thursday. I'm going to walk you through your day, show you all your trip ups, why you feel miserable, why your hair is thinning, why your joints are suffering, your back is hurting, why you're looking older than you are and should be looking. I had to work on myself to start looking younger again because I was looking too old too fast. And I was like, nope, no. No, I can't. My kids cannot be asking me who's older, me or my mom. Like that's not right. So I had to work on it, and I want to give you all the tips. And it's not just that; it's women who've struggled with just feelings of depression and anxiety. Some of that just carries if you've had postpartum depression but never dealt with it. It's there and it's underlying because your hormones are out of whack. It's not you, it's not your decisions, it's not your life, it's not your fault. It's the hormones. Let's help you walk your way back to the confident, or even one size down. Like, who'd be happy with that? Like, I can just drop one clothing size, because sometimes it's hard to imagine that ideal that you want or that you were. But if you can just imagine slightly fuller hair, clear thoughts, no angry moods and bursts that you just feel like you can't control. If you can just imagine less crying spells and positive thoughts in your mind once again, if you can just imagine deleting chin hairs one by one, they're just going away, and you're just so happy about that. Just imagine feeling more energy and more like yourself. If you want the all into the scoop on a longer format, join me for my masterclass. Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. I will see you there. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be popping. It's going to be live. Bring your questions. Bring your friends, your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law. Even if you don't get along, it's quite all right. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me, ladies. Woohoo! Here's to your health. Cheers to your health. Whoa, I'm going to clank my water and my juice. Cheers to your health. Woo! All right. Go have a great day. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, ladies.